Welcome to the Hindu editorial analysis. The article which I am going to discuss is the government in business. The article expounds some of the greatest powers of the world, like Singapore and China, who has invested in overseas markets. The governments have invested in overseas markets and are reaping huge dividends out of their investments, while India is doing the disinvestment process, saying that the inefficient companies, PSUs, are becoming a burden for India. India is saying that we are having no right to be in business, that is our business, and it is selling almost all the PSUs in a very inefficient way. Look at China, which has invested in overseas markets and has reaped 27% of GDP of India. Singapore's investments totals 55 lakhs crores rupees, and our total expenditure, public expenditure in 2022-23 budget is 38 crore 38 lakhs crores rupees. See how Singapore and China is investing. There is a market for investment, and here India is not exploring. Indian government is not exploring the investments in the markets overseas and in its PSUs. Instead, it is selling the PSUs. This is a very huge discouragement, since the government, the only revenue making source seems to be the taxes. The petrol taxes and the petroleum taxes are being raised now and then the government is trying to reap the revenue out of taxes. This is not a good move. There is a market for investments on which the Indian government can explore, like the Singapore government and the Chinese government. They have gone way far in its investments and making wealth out of it. The trend now seems to be making the overseas investments by governments and then earning wealth. Indian government is just deflecting far away from it. It is not even trying to invest in overseas markets. Instead, it is selling its PSUs. There are profit making PSUs. The article says that the talent is there in PSUs. The world class talent is there in PSUs, which can be harnessed by the Indian government. Instead, it is going on the selling spree. The recent disinvestment in LIC is a classic example of which the government is having lots of hopes on selling the PSUs. The article says that the accumulation of wealth from dividends and the investments in PSUs and overseas is more than what the taxes can pay and what the disinvestments can pay. This is a example which the Singapore has shown, the China has shown. The Chinese petroleum national petrol company has now having a greater wealth, having a greater assets base, and China is not planning to sell or downsize its PSU, the prestigious PSU. This is the lesson which Indian government has to learn from China and Singapore, is what article is saying. It's a very beautiful article, a small article by an IIM professor. Please go through it and please try to understand that views are very much important for the sake of having a greater economic boost and the economic growth and the development of the economy. The disinvestment is being very much economically non-viable project which government is undertaking now. It has to rethink on its disinvestment spree and try to invest overseas and see that the government wealth gets expanded. With the discussion on this short article, let me take leave for today. Meet you tomorrow. I bid you for today. Thank you. Good night.